Imagine being a child abandoned in the freezing wilderness. Your father poisoned, your family left to starve, your tribe refusing to take you back. Most kids would have died within weeks, but not this boy. His name was Temüjin. History would remember him as Genghis Khan, the man who built the largest empire the world has ever seen. But here's the question nobody dares to ask. Did he rise because of his genius? Or because he embraced a darkness no one else would? Stay with me, because this isn't just the story of a conqueror. It's the story of how a boy society tried to erase, came back to own the world. Temüjin was born around 1162 in the harsh Mongolian steppes. Life there was brutal. Endless grasslands, freezing winters, and rival tribes fighting over scraps of food and horses. His father, Yesugei, was a respected tribal leader. But when Temüjin was just 9, everything collapsed. On a journey home, his father was poisoned by enemies. In an instant, the family lost its protection. The tribe, loyal only to strength, abandoned Temüjin, his mother, and his siblings. Imagine that. One day you're the son of a chief. The next you're an outcast, scrounging for roots and rodents to survive. Temüjin's mother taught him a hard lesson. We have nothing. If you want to live, you must take everything. That seed of survival would grow into something terrifying. Growing up, Temüjin knew the taste of hunger, the sting of betrayal, and the weight of humiliation. Once, when he was still a teenager, a rival clan captured him, tied him to a wooden collar, and paraded him like an animal. Most boys would break. Temüjin didn't. He waited, planned, and in a daring escape under the cover of night, he killed his guard and ran free. That moment changed him forever. To Temüjin, mercy was weakness. Trust was a gamble. Power was survival. From then on, he decided he would never be powerless again. Temüjin began gathering followers, outcasts, hunters, runaway slaves, people society had thrown away. He promised them something no other Mongol leader had offered. Loyalty based on merit, not bloodline. This was radical. In a world where tribe meant everything, Temüjin created a new kind of brotherhood. He didn't care who your father was. If you were strong, loyal, and useful, you had a place. Slowly, his band grew into an army. And with every battle won, more tribes submitted. The boy who once had nothing now controlled warriors who would die for him. Still, he wasn't satisfied. Temüjin had learned the harshest lesson of the steppe. Mercy could kill you. When tribes rebelled, he crushed them completely. Men were executed. Women and children were absorbed into his people. It was brutal, ruthless, but it worked. The Mongol steppes, once fractured by endless tribal wars, began to unite under one banner, Temüjin's. In 1206, at a great council of tribes, he was given a new name, Genghis Khan. It meant universal ruler. The boy abandoned in the snow was now the lord of the steppe. But Genghis Khan didn't stop with Mongolia. He looked outward. To the south was China, vast and wealthy. To the west, kingdoms and empires fat with gold. His army became a storm of arrows and hooves, moving faster than anyone thought possible. The Mongol horsemen could ride for days without rest, living on dried meat and even horse blood if needed. Cities that resisted were obliterated. Entire populations were slaughtered. To enemies, the Mongols were monsters. To those who surrendered, they brought order, trade, and protection. Was Genghis a devil or a genius? Maybe both. Here's the twist people often forget. Genghis Khan wasn't just about destruction. He created one of the most efficient communication systems in history, a relay network of horses that could send messages across his empire faster than anyone else. He encouraged trade along the Silk Road, linking China to Europe. He allowed freedom of religion, respecting Muslims, Christians, and Buddhists alike. In a world torn apart by rigid kingdoms and tribal bloodlines, Genghis built something shocking, an empire of connection. But the price of his vision? Rivers of blood. We often imagine Genghis as a monster on horseback. But what about the man? Stories say he feared thunder, that he believed he was chosen by the sky itself to rule, that he could be warm to his friends and merciless to his enemies. He loved his family, but his quest for power often meant sacrificing them to his ambition. Even his own blood wasn't safe if it threatened his empire. So who was he? A father, a husband, a visionary, a murderer? The truth is, he was all of them. By the time he died in 1227, Genghis Khan had carved out the largest contiguous empire in history. From the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea, his shadow stretched across continents. But here's the twist. No one knows exactly how he died. Some say he fell off a horse. Others whisper he was killed by enemies. Some legends claim his body was buried in secret, with rivers diverted to hide his grave. The man who had conquered the known world vanished into mystery. Today, his legacy still divides us. To some, he was a monster who drowned civilizations in blood. To others, he was a visionary who built bridges across cultures. But one thing is certain. The boy who was once abandoned in the wilderness never truly left. Because Genghis Khan still lives in the fear, the myths, and the very map of our world.